What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 202 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, your request has been accepted, but not yet fulfilled.
Oh, is that half of 404?
It is the HTTP status code, and that's what you get for it. And 404 is the error cannot find.
All right, okay. That's kind of cute.
Can I admit something about myself here, Rick?
Did you make that up?
No, I didn't make that up, no. Obviously, I work in retail, I work in a supermarket. My store is designated as Store 404, so I cackle every time I use a computer at work.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It's not worth laughing over, but I do every time.
Yeah, it's exactly the same reason, like, I picked that exact fucking number in Pokemon Sword, where you get told, okay, you have to wear a football shirt for fighting in gyms, and you get to pick a number. Well, alright, I'm number 404. Joke not found.
That's fair. I was 03 because I didn't realise most people had 3 numbers on their fucking chest, so I felt sick.
Yeah. Yeah, even Leon is like 001, isn't he?
Oh, bastards. If I realised it was like 3 numbers for most people, it would have been 003. 3's my lucky number. Don't ask, you won't get.
Yeah, 3's the key.
But yes, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Today we're watching something kind of special, something Rick managed to scrounge up on YouTube of all things. Rick, do you want to say what you found for us to watch today?
Yeah, so this was a gift from the YouTube Shorts algorithm. It is The Tick, starring Patrick Warburton.
Yes, so you ready for some background information?
Yeah, let's go.
Alrighty. Debuting on the 8th of November 2001, it's the first incarnation of live-action Tick. It follows up from a rather successful animated series in the mid-90s and is written by the same core team as the animated series, including the creator of the original comic book, Ben Edlund. Fun fact, Ben Edlund seems to have been involved in every single Tick project ever, and not many creators get to say that, so good for him.
Yeah, absolutely good for him.
As for the creation of the Tick itself, here's a very brief, summarised version of how the Tick got created. The story goes pretty simply. Edlund created the character back in high school. He wrote little stories for his little local, it was like a publication, and effectively it got picked up because the publisher that ended up picking it up completely fucked up, and they needed a new IP immediately. Thus the Tick was born.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, the Crimson Chin is based off the Tick.
I mean, it makes a lot of sense, because, like, I'm not going to argue with that, because I'm seeing the Crimson Chin in my face, and I'm looking at the Tick when he was in the comic book form, and yeah. It's just a blue Crimson Chin, really.
Yeah, with, I believe, the good old catchphrase of Spoon.
I'll take your word for it, I'm not going to argue. I've not read any issues of the comic book. All I know is the art style looks really cool. If I had to compare it to anything, it actually looks a bit like Banana Man.
It does a bit.
We won't cover it today or anytime soon, but there is a more recent adaptation of The Tick made for Amazon Prime in 2017, starring Peter, I can't say his fucking surname, Darth Maul.
Yeah. Pate.
Yeah, Pate, Darth Maul, whatever you want to call him. I'm very sorry, he's got a very fucking Polish surname, and I don't know how it's pronounced.
I believe it's Peter Serafinovich.
That sounds right, but I've just got it written down how it's written, and it's slightly different to how it's pronounced, and my tongue can't do it.
Yeah.
But he stars as the Tick. Apparently Amazon requested them to change actor because Patrick Warburton was super up for reprising the role of the Tick. But he ended up just serving as a producer, which, you know, he still got paid, so fuck it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Speaking of Patrick Warburton, obviously he plays the titular role of the Tick in this version we'll be watching. I'm not going to list everything the guy's ever done, but let's put it this way. If you've ever seen a big, muscly, burly man in a cartoon, chances are Patrick Warburton fucking voiced him.
Yeah, especially one with a big chin, if you come to Family Guy.
I mean, like, I put a note down here saying, like, it doesn't matter if they're a villain or a good guy. If they got that body shape, they're probably voiced by Warburton.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the guy looks exactly how you think he'd look.
Oh, yeah. like football jock.
For real. He had a very brief role on Space Force, which is a parody thing by, I forget who wrote it, but it's, I've forgotten.
It's on Netflix, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a Netflix thing. I've forgotten the guy's name. Steve Carell is the main character.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays an army bro in that, and he leads a branch of the army, and there's a point where the US president is saying, we need to attack China on the moon, and everyone's like, yeah, we should throw paintballs at them, and but the guy suggesting the attack is, no, actually make a military attack, and Patrick Warburton playing a general is just like, yeah, but not actually though, because that's a war crime. It's so fucking surreal. Very briefly, the downfall of the Tick, or at least its original run, is quite frankly can be summed up by it was a Fox show in the early 2000s and they fucked it up.
Yeah.
They
did.
They put it in a prime time spot Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. which, again, very good spot to have. However, it's going up against very well-established shows, and it had very minimal advertising, so it was doomed to not make the numbers they wanted.
Yeah, totally.
It did get a cult following, though. Patrick Warburton himself is quoted as saying that he thinks that because Fox didn't actually own the rights to the series itself, that's why they weren't pushing it quite as hard, and it's kind of baffling how, why would you put it in your prime time and not fucking advertise it? Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only silver lining is, of course, that thanks to the Tick not being quite successful, Patrick Warburton managed to get a voice role, the voice role of one Brock Sampson from Venture Bros.
Ah, yes. Okay.
So the creator of that show happened to work on the Tick and was like, oh, yeah, you're going to voice this guy. And Patrick Warburton's like, yeah, sure. Fun fact, the creator of the Tick, Mr. I've got to scroll back up to remember myself his name. Ben Edlund also worked on Venture Bros. He wrote like a couple of episodes.
Ah, sweet.
So going back to the year of 2001, we had Blue topping the charts with If You Come Back, and Destiny's Child, So Solid Crew, 5, and fucking Westlife were all hovering around the top. Can I say any more early 2000s bands than that?
Yeah, like what else is like Busted?
I don't think they were popular that time, were they? I think they'd already came and gone. Busted were weird because they were like a flash in the pan, but because people from that era are now adults, they're weirdly popular again.
I know, right? Yeah, like so many things like that happen. Like Aha came up again around that time as well, didn't they?
I only know Aha because of Take On Me.
Yeah, exactly. And Dragostadinde. I forget the guys who sang it, but yeah, the Maya He guys.
Oh right, yeah, but didn't they get popular because of that viral video?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But they were popular before that.
Yeah, but I mean a resurgence in popularity is more my point. Sorry, I word things dumb.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, that's the briefest of overviews I can give over what we're watching today. Before we actually jump in, those of you familiar with the show probably know already that we like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I've seen a couple of things and played one thing. The one thing that I've played has been Minecraft.
Why?
A bunch of people have set up a modded Minecraft server. I've lost everything at least once and relocated my base at least once. Somewhere out in the world is a gravestone with a jetpack in it. But yeah, I've been having a nice bit of fun with it. There's not every single mod in there. I'm obviously not playing Minecraft without mods. And yeah, just playing funny dirt block game with funny dirt blocks.
I mean, I'm not criticising by any means. I've barely ever been able to play Minecraft regular with people, so you know, I'm not poo-pooing you for playing Minecraft. I'm like that person who's at the edge of the playground on the other side of the fence, being like, "Let me in."
Yeah. And the other things I've watched, we went to see the Wicked movie, which is so incredibly old news that it was difficult to find a showing.
I thought you already saw that.
That was this week.
I thought you already saw that.
Okay, so I saw Wicked, the stage show.
No, I'm aware of that. It's just we brought Wicked up on the podcast, so I assume that's because you watched it. Obviously, we must have been talking about something else and just bitched. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, I've now seen Wicked, the movie, the part 1, and part 1 of the movie, which basically cuts off at like the interval of the stage show, because that's a very good place to cut it off, lasts longer than the stage show.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the stage show's only like a couple of hours, and isn't the fucking movie also a couple of hours, so how is it only half the story?
Yeah, because they put things that are not always shown as adaptation expansions, like you get some sweeping panoramas, like certain things are just like you spend a little bit more time saying the thing. Sure,
because people who go see movies are stupid.
Oh, yes.
That's not me actually saying that, guys. I'm being that fucking douchebag director who's like, you have to be very obvious with what you're saying because we can't trust the audience.
Yeah, like you got to, if you want to hit someone with a callback, you need to show what you're calling back to.
Yeah, the Marvel method.
Yeah. And the other thing that I watched is something that I wasn't expecting to watch.
Can we roll back ever so slightly? What did you actually think of the movie?
I thought it was a good movie. There are some things in the movie version that clarify things that I missed at the stage show because we were kind of up in the gods, and you don't get every single bit of movement when you're up there, or the facial stuff.
Yeah, you were too busy chewing on a sherbet lemon.
Trying to get the last piece of popcorn out that wasn't actually an unpopped piece of corn.
Oh, Jesus.
Weirdly, actually, it was actually National Popcorn Day when we went, so we got popcorn for £1. I like the movie. My dad says, I'm giving it a 6. If it was an hour shorter, I'd give it an 8.
Do you think that holds up, or do you think he's just like, man, I want to go for a piss, but I got to watch?
We all went for a piss. I very rarely go for a piss in a movie. This time I had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near as long as Gladiator 2, though, is it?
It's about the same. It's 3 hours-ish.
Fuck off. Oh, no,
Yeah.
I'd hate it. I don't like movies that are that long because, again, I need a piss in a 3-hour time period, no matter how much, unless I dehydrate myself, which, no, I'm not doing.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I liked it okay. Looking forward to part 2. Obviously, they've gone all in on the everything good that they can do about it.
Okay.
They've used the budget well for effects and stuff.
Yeah, but didn't they have a shit zillion dollars for their budget?
Yes.
So even if they used their budget poorly,
yeah, even if they used it poorly, it still looked fine. But yes, the other thing that I have watched was Solo Leveling. I'm about 2/3 of the way through season 1.
Is this that anime about the guy from the level 99 village who goes to, level 100 village who goes to a level 99 village or something stupid?
Nah, that's one where someone from level 99 village goes to level 1 starting town, assuming that he's shit. The level 99 kid from the level 100 village. Yeah, that's a different thing. This is one where a power level 10 guy, pretty much on Dragon Ball Z scaling, in a world where you can't increase your power level, gets his shit pushed in between episode, at the end of episode 2, and reawakens with the ability to start leveling up.
Okay, so is this a fantasy setting, or?
So this is current South Korea.
Fucking, okay, that's already way weirder than I thought it was going to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's a fantasy version of current South Korea in which portals open.
Yeah.
Gangs can go into the portal while the portal is cooking and defeat the dungeon. If you defeat the dungeon, then the portal closes. If you don't defeat the dungeon, then all the monsters spill out and wreak havoc around the city in a kaiju attack.
Okay, so it's specific room logic.
Pretty much. But the portal is there and you've got a week to sort it out before it bursts.
I mean, it's an interesting concept. I can't say I'd want to watch it, but it's novel.
Yeah, and normal things don't work on these creatures. Only people who have awakened as essentially player characters get to damage them at all.
Well, it makes sense. Otherwise, it's just cool, we're sending in the army.
Yeah. So the army is basically just people guarding the yellow tape that they set around the areas where portals are.
Yeah, because you don't want some bumblefuck to walk in on their own and get wrecked, and then, oh shit, now we've got to deal with all these creatures.
Yeah, and they even do the most real thing in the world, which is they ask the general public, please do not take pictures, and the guy is just literally there with his phone in vertical taking a picture. But yeah, it's very actiony. I'm praising it very much for the action scenes, and so far the bullshit power boosts have felt earned only because we've spent multiple episodes with him at power level 0.
I kind of get you, but anything that has an actual in-universe way of just detecting how strong you are is immediately going to be, not necessarily immediately, but at a certain point it's going to break down to, okay, when does number get big?
Yeah.
It's the Dragon Ball Z problem.
He's got an RPG stat screen, and it keeps getting bigger.
Oh, he's got Pip-Boy.
Yeah, pretty much. And he's the only one that has this. Even other people in the world don't have this because they don't level up.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, that's it for things that I've seen. The other thing is the outside world. which is that Nightmare Nimi has debuted, and she sounds exactly like Ceres Fauna.
Oh, is this a quote-unquote independent?
Yeah, it's an independent VTuber who has just surfaced, and it's died last week, born again this week.
I mean, if she wants to keep being in the business, but just doesn't want to align with HoloLive anymore, I see absolutely no issues with this.
Yeah, and also because it was a rebrand of an existing channel that already had like 200,000 subscribers, because people knew who she was. Mm-hmm. It was open to get memberships as soon as she went into her first live stream, and she broke chat with the number of memberships coming in. So, I mean, good for her.
Yeah, exactly, good for her. I don't think we'll ever know the exact nature of the disagreement that happened between her and HoloLive, but I'm always gonna support the individual person over the big faceless company.
Yeah, especially when there are things that she said about it in coded language even before she left.
Well, I've not been following the story, so I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Well, I'll skip that part then.
Oh, you can absolutely share it. I'm just saying I can't input on it because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the wording was, and I think I've said this one before, that I'm not leaving because I don't want to be here, and ... and you have to fill in the blanks there. That she wanted to be there, and she was being forced out for some reason or another. And her new gimmick is that she's a tapir who eats bad dreams.
Tapir, so she's drowsy. That's a bold pick, isn't it?
Yeah, so she's literally drowsy.
Well, let's hope not, because drowsy's weird.
Well, drowsy becomes hypno, and hypno's worse.
Hypno is worse, but drowsy's already pretty weird.
Drowsy's already pretty weird, and its Japanese name is sleep.
I mean, drowsy is just that.
Yeah, fair enough. And the other thing in VTuber news is CronyCoin.
No.
And you might have seen memes about this. Not because she's made CronyCoin, but because her channel got hacked, and one of these tech bro guys put up one of his scam streams, like directing to a rug pull coin. So once they got control of the account back, she's been memeing on it of releasing CronyCoin, which obviously hasn't happened, but all the other talents are going, I put all of my budget into CronyCoin and everything's gone, and like Callie doing a CronyCoin expose.
Jeez. I mean, you saying that, like I browse Reddit a fair few times. I'd say it's probably my main social network that I actively use. Occasionally I get a recommendation from Wall Street Bets. I don't go on that subreddit because I don't care about it, but it was someone going, I really need this coin, this to go back up because it's lost almost half its value. I'm going to lose my house. And then you click on the image and they invested in one of the Trump coin things. And everyone in the comments were just like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, bro.
Yeah. Just short this coin, because this is literally the only way you're making anything out of it.
Yeah, so he'd already lost half his money, and everyone's advice was just, take your money out now. And he's like, I can't take my money out now because I don't have enough to keep my house. And it's like, okay, but if you don't take... And this is actual advice from the thread. It just boils down to, okay, but if you don't take your money out now, you'll have fuck all. Yeah.
This thing is in free fall. When it hits zero, that's what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, just don't invest in these coins. I mean, not to bitch at Crony because she got hacked and it was people being fucking nasty and malicious. Don't invest in this shit.
Yeah. If you've not done your own research, don't invest in anything.
Don't invest in anything that's a meme coin.
Yeah. Don't invest in memes.
Like, it's still up in the air whether or not that Hawk woman was being malicious with her meme coin, or if she was also along for being strung along and used and manipulated. Who knows? We may never know.
Yeah.
Either way, some people made a lot of money and a lot of people lost everything.
Yep. But yes, at the risk of encroaching on other public events that I'm not going to even touch with a barge pole, how about you? What have you seen? Where have you been?
Oh, don't you worry. I'm touching those events. But anyway...
we're lubed up and ready to go. We're touching those events.
I'm not touching you. Anyway, I've done precisely 2 things that I bothered to note down this week. First and foremost, I watched Squid Game Series 2.
Yeah.
So last week I binged Squid Game Season 1. Season 1 is excellent. Season 2 is also excellent, but boy is it a tonal shift. Or, well, it's not even a tonal shift, it's just the goal has changed. And it's a real uphill battle for our protagonist, I'll say that much.
Yeah, because you get this with all of these things like Hunger Games and Battle Royale and whatever. When someone enters again, you know that they're the protagonist and they're either gonna win the second time round again or die at the end for a dramatic twist of season 2 or entry 2 or whatever. And because they're always going in for some other reason when they really don't want to go in again.
Well, here's the thing, Rick, is I thought he was immediately going to go into the Squid Game Part 2, and I was wrong. The first 2 episodes are just him doing a manhunt.
Okay.
And it's honestly thrilling viewing. I won't get into it. I won't spoil it for people. It's still relatively new. So, it is what it is. But I was expecting him to willingly go. I mean, he does kind of willingly go into the Squid Game again, but not in the way I was expecting it to. I wasn't expecting it to start on episode 3. Yeah.
Well, that means he gets a decent amount of world building time, because we got like 2/3 of the first half of the first episode was like outside of the games, really, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's weird because we don't really get world building for the outside world, because the outside world is just our world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously with the touch of whatever is controlling the games, but like, yes.
Exactly. It's good. I don't want to spoil it. This second series only has 7 episodes as opposed to season 1's 9. Every single shot was well done. I can't believe how tense they make these silly little children games. That's all we're watching, and yet I'm on the edge of my seat the entire fucking time because I'm like, this shit's fucked.
Yeah, like how much more power do you get out of watching people play noughts and crosses?
Like, for real, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being one of the games.
Connect 4.
Jeez. Yeah, it's incredibly thrilling. We immediately get stakes again for Squid Game. The reason why our protagonist actually starts caring a bit more than he necessarily might have done is because one of the participants in the Squid Game is his best mate from that first episode we watched. Like, he's just in the Squid Game, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why? Oh dear. Not to say that he wouldn't have cared in the first place, but like, it just adds that extra layer of like, oh, I need to make sure these people don't fucking die.
Yeah.
There's a character introduced who is an ex-rapper, and he's named Thanos.
Okay.
He's got purple hair, Rick. One of the people who doesn't know who he is takes the piss and says, "Where's your Infinity Stones?" And he just holds up his hand, and his fingernails are painted like the Infinity Stones. This guy's a fucking loser. It's great.
Sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, the finale ends on basically a cliffhanger, and I don't know how this is going to resolve in a good way. So I'm eagerly awaiting series 3, which, as far as I'm aware, is going to be the final season. So, and they'll finally free the director to do other projects.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other thing that happened is Dynasty Warriors Origins came out.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Yeah. How are you having fun with that?
Oh boy, is it a mixed bag.
Okay.
It's a very pretty game. I'll give it that. It controls not vastly different from previous Dynasty Warriors games, but there's enough of a change that it seems to be trying to pivot into proper character action. It's still not quite there, so fans of character action probably will think it's shit. At first, I thought they were going to try and tell a bit of a unique story, but after chapter 1, it was quickly like, oh, we're just doing the same take that we always fucking have on all of these scenarios. Okay, sure, whatever. So yeah, I'm on chapter 4 now. I picked the Sun family, and it's the same thing again. It's fucking like Sun Jian's dead. Spoiler for fucking 200 BC or AD, I forget. Yeah, Sun Jian died, so everything's going to shit. Oh, Sun Ce died, everything's going to shit. Maybe if you beat the game and unlock your time travel powers, which I've been told are a thing, you'll be able to stop these two things from happening and alter history. And it's the same fucking alterations to history each time. I'm getting a bit sick of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, save Sun Jian, that will change something. Save Sun Ce, that will change something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it will, but can you not like try and make something a bit more original? Like, you've done this 3 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, they made a very nice simplified map of China as this sort of overworld, and it almost feels like a board game when you're moving around, which is pretty cool. It's got some interesting ideas. I was expecting more.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. But the gameplay is good, is it?
Gameplay's fine. It's Dynasty Warriors, so it's always going to suffer from that. If you play it for more than a couple of hours, you're like, okay, I'm getting bored. It's the same gameplay loop as ever. It's like, yeah, you can kill you KO hundreds and hundreds of soldiers, but the fights between actual generals are always the same. They brought back the dueling mechanic, which changes how a boss fight works, but it just makes it easier because you just have to swing your morale gauge the right way as opposed to actually kill them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, I've been having fun, but I can only play this game in like 2-hour bursts at most before being like, okay, I'm bored. They've also got infinite battles called skirmishes, and they just pop up randomly on the map, and they're so minor, they take like 2 minutes to do, but they just pop up everywhere, and it's like, you don't have to do these, but if you do, it contributes to the peace in that region, and you get prizes if you fill the peace. And I'm like, it's like, because I've played video games for so long, I've been conditioned to, here's a thing to do it.
Yeah, totally.
Which isn't a problem, except for when the thing to do is infinite and never stops. I have to resist the urge to play these, because they're big fucking shiny markers on the map, Rick.
Yeah, it's like, please leave the hinterlands, isn't it?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, but at least the hinterlands had a stopping point.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, sure, you could do all the fucking pieces of Oasis. I forgot what they're called. You know what I'm talking about, right? The shards.
Yeah. Like, you can keep doing them. Oh, yeah, like the Radiant quests as well. Like they do keep generating, but you have to leave for some of them to come back.
Radiant quests?
Like, they've got the Dragon Age equivalent of the another settlement needs your help kind of thing.
I don't think those existed in Inquisition.
Did they not? Okay.
There was a load of things where whenever you reached a new region, it was like do an ore survey, so it's like find 3 of X ore, and but it didn't respawn, I don't think, unless it did, in which case you're right. Yeah, it was so, yeah. It's just frustrating, that's my point.
Yeah.
You have some news, Rick?
Let's go.
Alrighty. Rick, what did you think of that Switch 2 reveal?
Okay, so, I know you mentioned it last week as this will likely be revealed today, and yes, it was revealed that day, and they basically showed us nothing apart from the fact that it's a little bit bigger and it's gonna have a port on the bottom and the top. But also, they're not getting rid of the aux port.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm annoyed whenever anything gets rid of the aux port.
Yeah. So for once, good job Nintendo for not getting rid of a thing that you didn't need to get rid of.
Yeah, I've been looking at new phones recently because my phone's like 5 years old and it's fucked. But every single phone I've looked at that's newer than my phone, it's like it doesn't have an aux port, and I'm like, so how do I plug in my headphones? And the answer is you've got two solutions, Rick. You can either get wireless ones, which no, or you can get this little adapter to plug into your charging port that turns it into an aux port, and it's like, this is stupid.
There is a third option.
Go on.
You can get a Bluetooth standalone thing that you plug your actual good headphones into that then connects to your phone wirelessly, so you have the Bluetooth thing in your pocket and your phone wherever it is.
That's still wireless though, really.
Yeah, but it's also a thing that you're in control of, and it will be like, I'm not saying anything is evergreen, but like the solution will work between devices.
Oh yeah, I suppose. I'm just bothered. It's just, technology is going backwards.
Yeah, and shitification.
Oh god, you're so right. That's before we even get into the planned obsolescence that Apple likes to do. Well, it's not just Apple, they're just the only ones who've been caught doing it.
Yeah. Well, because like everybody does it. Apple have been caught with their finger in the pie. I'm always going to think about Frankie Boyle and Columbo. They showed you them doing it.
This is the second time in 2 recording sessions you've mentioned that.
I know. It was the banks. They showed you them doing it. Anyway, that's me stopped about that.
But yeah, looping back to the Switch 2, yeah, they calling it a reveal is perhaps a bit generous, because they didn't show off any functionality or anything. They just said, yes, the Switch 2 exists. It was a real sour grapes kind of like minute and a half video of just, here it is. It's slightly bigger, as Rick said. The Joy-Cons attach via a slightly different method, which honestly say, if it works as it shows you, looks like a vastly superior method.
Yes. Obviously, things are zuzzed up for the trailer. It looks like a better constructed piece of kit. There are 2 connection points for the the back stand.
Oh, yeah, that was very interesting. Well, I wouldn't say very interesting, but it certainly immediately looks 3 times as sturdy as the Switch.
Yeah. And, they, like, the black version is even going to have the old colours as insets in the underside of the thumbsticks, so you know exactly which one is which without getting it twisted. As if you didn't know your left from your right.
Yeah, you see your left, right? It's when you hold up your index finger and your thumb, it makes an L.
Yeah. And I love how you said your left, right.
I didn't even notice I did that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Switch 2. I will try to procure one effectively as soon as it's out and available, because I like my Nintendo exclusives.
Yes.
Speaking of Nintendo exclusives, they gave us the briefest hints that yes, there will finally be a new Mario Kart, unless it's Mario Kart 8 and they've just increased the number of riders.
Yeah, it looks like 24-player Mario Kart.
Yeah, which I just want more Mario Kart, man. I love Mario Kart. It's a fucking crime that it's been 10 years.
It is, isn't it?
I think I even said to you not too long ago, you mentioned that Sonic and or Sega are making a new Sonic All-Star Racers, and I went, good, it's been 10 years since we've had a kart racer. Yeah.
There's also a fan game that just, like, allows people to play multiplayer Sonic racing on foot with Sonic characters, and apparently it's both really fun and really underpopulated.
I mean,
because it's like the devs and whoever's playing at the moment.
So the devs made it for them, and some of the devs accidentally spilled the beans, so now they got a few more players, and it's like, this is neat.
Yeah, whenever someone logs on, the devs log in and join the game.
This is where we learn all the devs are just bots. But yeah, I'm eagerly awaiting more Nintendo games. We got our Nintendo Switch like years in review not too long ago, and mine was just like, you played Pokemon in January and that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
not even disputing it. That's literally what we do.
But yes, in other news, My Hero Academia's spin-off Vigilantes is getting an anime adaptation apparently slated for release on 7th of April.
Okay, cool. Apparently people liked this.
Apparently they did, yeah. So Vigilantes in My Hero Academia are a bit weird in that then they're effectively heroes without licenses.
Yeah, like the world plays them up as, are they heroes? Are they villains? Oh, they're literally definitely heroes, but they're not licensed. They're not part of the pro hero thing. They don't get paid to do the right thing, which for the viewer generally makes them even better than heroes, because they're not in it for the money. They're in it for the love of the game, as it were. And yeah, it's basically like a prequel to the My Hero Academia mythos. I think one of the teachers is just like part of the gang.
Possibly. I think the most interesting thing about Vigilantes is that one of the characters we focus on is a pre-Stain Stain.
Okay.
So he was a vigilante before he got completely disillusioned with the hero myth and was just like, fucking everyone but All Might needs to die.
Yeah. Everyone but All Might needs to step up their game and become All Might.
For real, man. Like, the reason why Stain didn't fucking beat Midoriya is because Midoriya's just All Might.
Yeah. He's Mini Might, yeah.
Fucking Ida proving Stain's point, though. Just like, you're not doing this for money, but you're doing it for revenge. That's not hero talk. Blah, I eat your blood. I love Stain. He's so diabolically dumb.
Yeah.
In other news, Sainsbury's is set to cut more than 3,000 jobs by getting rid of cafe and hot counter staff. Why have I bothered to bring this up? Because I work in retail, and guess what? It's happening in every supermarket. Other ones are just more subtle.
Yeah. I briefly heard about this while I was driving to pick up supplies for the next time we get snowed in.
It's not good. Effectively, they're like, we have to cut costs because taxes are going up. This is Sainsbury's saying this, and it's like, yeah, but it's actually, I know we blame capitalism for a lot, but it's actually the problem, because they're more than profitable. They're just not more profitable than last year unless they make cuts. So they're getting rid of people's jobs so they can't make money and feed themselves in order to increase their profits.
Yep. In order to increase a nebulous bottom line that's completely meaningless. other than to shareholders, which are like, yeah, it's enshittification again. Like they're mandated to have year-on-year growth, infinite growth on a finite planet.
So, and also what this does to staff on the ground, as it were, and I can vouch for this because it's my area. Is the counters will close. Some people might be annoyed by that, but more importantly, what will happen is what they're not telling you about is even though the counters are closed, they still expect the existing staff to do duties that those other people might have done. Because everyone who works on a counter doesn't just do their counter.
Yeah. As you can tell from the fact that most counters are usually unmanned until somebody just gets a little bit uppity and goes, ahem, ahem, I want some cheese, I want this cheese, and the person has to break off from the other counter that they're currently manning to come and help the person who really wants a slice of Gouda that's slightly bigger than the one that's already prepackaged.
I mean, that's what the service of the counters provide. I'm not going to begrudge customers for wanting that service. I will begrudge the company for not manning that counter because, yes, they can afford a member of staff. They just don't.
Yeah,
they just don't want to.
Yeah, like they demonstrably can afford a member of staff because they put the member of staff somewhere else. They've just decided that arbitrarily the ones doing this job no longer deserve money or love and therefore must be pruned from the Sainsbury's family.
I mean, I won't name my own supermarket because I shit-talk them a lot, so they will remain nameless. But in mine, when we first opened, we had a butcher and a fishmonger for the entirety of the store opening hours, and that very quickly changed to a butcher or a fishmonger, and they just had to double up.
Yeah. I remember in the noughties, you could be one of many people working fish.
Yeah. I mean, we have another fresh counter in my store. And about 2 months ago, they replaced one of a section of it, which was just basically to keep hot food hot, and they changed it so that it faced customers and everything was already pre-boxed. And this way, they don't have to keep a member of staff there all day because he doesn't have to serve the food.
Yeah.
So all these subtle little things.
I noticed that, actually. I noticed that. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, that's why they do it. There's all these little things that they do just to make it so that, we no longer need a member of staff to man this section.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's not just Sainsbury's doing it, but Sainsbury's has actually said this is what we're going to do. And my heart goes out to anyone who works on a hot food counter or in a Sainsbury's cafe just sitting there being like, I don't know if my job's still going to be my job in 2 weeks' time.
Yep. I feel retroactively slightly more sorry for the person who was manning a cafe last time I was in one and just came out and talked to his mate who was one of the other customers while an additional customer was going, this is ridiculous.
I mean, I have it all the time. I remember I was shopping in Tesco not too long ago, and I used they got this thing where you can scan as you shop, and then you just scan it at the end, and it's already scanned, and you just pay. But because that's the system, randomly at random intervals, sometimes it goes, we need a member of staff to check your shopping, and I'm like, it's mildly annoying, whatever. It happened to me, and there was a woman next to me who was significantly older than I am, shall we say, and she was like, this is ridiculous, and I just went, not really, and then she huffed and just didn't look at me again, and I'm like, okay, dude.
Yeah. just because you didn't agree with her, because you're trying to buy 14 bottles of wine, of course you need your age checking.
It wasn't even age checking, it was just we need to make sure you're not nicking shit.
Oh yeah,
it's just crap. It's just randomly some of the scanners you go, you just have to be like, and the person scanning only has to scan like 6 of your products, and 9 times out of 10 they will scan the same thing 6 times because they're lazy, and that's fine by me.
Yep. Unexpected item in bagging area.
Man, Rick, why don't people want to work anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because there's no fucking jobs, because they keep getting rid of them to try and save money.
Yep, absolutely.
In other news, Nick? Nick? Who's Nick? In other news, Rick.
In other lose Nick is what we got there.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe I did say drums last week. In other news, Rick, TikTok got banned for about 3 hours in America.
Yeah.
And what is this?
Yeah. And Marvel Snap was down while that was Well, that was the case, but only in America.
Yeah, lots of people pointed out that, boy, is this the easiest Trump win Trump has ever had, because Trump is officially the president who brought back TikTok.
Yeah, he's the president that brought back TikTok after campaigning his entire last presidency to ban TikTok. He was the one that set all of this in motion, but boy, those supporters will be mad if they could read.
It was a depressing couple of hours, because you had people who make their actual living off of TikTok, which, whether or not you agree with people having careers in that sort of field, I mean, I don't like the fact that people are losing a source of income, you know, and people having legitimate breakdowns like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and you got people laughing, going, oh, get a real job, as if it's that fucking easy nowadays. Like, I by the way, guys, I'm employed, I work, and I'm thankful that I work, because I look at the fucking current climate and I'm like, fuck, there are just no jobs nowadays.
Yeah, it's grim. It's grim.
Exactly, and you got these, let's be honest, relatively young people making more money than zero off of their silly little TikToks, and you're laughing because they're having breakdowns because this source of income is suddenly going to go away.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, ain't it?
Yeah.
And not to mention that, also international TikTokers who aren't part of the United States were also like, oh, fuck, I'm going to lose a bunch of revenue because Americans aren't going to watch my shit.
Yeah, like the biggest, like, English-speaking gang of consumers.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
It did have this weird knock-on effect, by the way, as well, where a bunch of people, like, migrated from TikTok to this Chinese app called Red Note, out of, like, protest.
Yeah, which is even more invasive than what TikTok was.
It's so weird. But it also led to really weird interactions where a bunch of Americans were just posting interactions where Chinese people were asking them, hey, is it true that you guys have to pay for ambulances, or is that just Chinese propaganda?
Oh boy.
Yeah, fuck. Like, until I read that,
biscuit.
it's one of those moments where I'm like, before I read that, I'm like, yeah, you know what? It really is weird that you have to pay for an ambulance ride in the States.
Yeah. Like, everything has a price tag in healthcare in America, and it has a price tag in the UK as well, but it's all underwritten by the NHS.
Well, at the moment, give it 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years is being generous, because, like, both sides of the spectrum want to get rid of our fucking NHS. It's grim over here.
It is.
But yeah, obviously the TikTok ban didn't affect you, alright? Neither of us use TikTok.
Nope.
And even if we did, we live in the UK.
Yeah, you had this little era where they were thinking, oh, phones with TikTok already on them are going to end up being, like, way more valuable, like the Angry Birds phones. Ah,
yes, the Angry Birds phones. Of course, what Rick meant to say was Flappy Bird.
Oh yeah, Flappy Bird, yeah.
Apparently that game came back, but it's owned by a bunch of crypto bros now, so it's shit.
Yeah. The guy who made it, like, washed his hands of it and don't want anything to do with it no more.
Don't blame him. Like, talk about good guy game developers. I know people gave Flappy Bird a lot of shit because, anyone could have made it, and it's the same argument loads of people use for all sorts of things. But it's like, at the end of the day, he got told by the app stores he was using, hey, if you did this, you could make a ton more money. And he's like, no. He just had the app, and you could, I believe you could pay to have no ads.
Yeah.
Like, which is a good deal for a mobile game.
It is. Like, the number of mobile games where Dad plays, and I just watch him put his phone down to watch telly for 30 seconds while the ad plays.
Yeah, but that's perfectly fine, as long as, the only way the game is making money is either you can watch ads, or you can pay us $3.99 to have no ads.
Oh, there are all these multi-stage things where you can pay to skip the stage.
Oh, pay us money so you don't have to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, God. So let's just talk about the other thing. Do you want to talk about Musk's little sea Kyle?
I kind of didn't.
I know you didn't.
But...
This is the bit I was telling you where I'm like, I'll fucking touch it.
Yeah, it's even worse than that, because like they're all coming to his defense going, oh, he's autistic, and even Netanyahu's coming out saying, oh, he's being falsely smeared, whereas like you're now getting you're seeing people's true measure when like people, like entire subreddits are now going, okay, we're now shadow banning Twitter links.
Yeah, no, straight up, like that's all my Reddit feed has been for the last 2 days, is just, okay, no more links to Twitter. And I'm even at this point where I'm like, man, we've been not discussing, but thinking for a while, man, we should migrate from Twitter to Blue Sky. And now it's like, maybe we actually should do that. The main reason why I haven't been doing it is because, quite frankly, I'm lazy.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, let's loop back around to all these people defending Herr Musk, where I can please let me finish before I get to the end of this, because it's going to sound really bad when I start. I can see why people are making arguments about the initial gesture. I think they're bullshit and they shouldn't be considered, but I can understand some weird sort of logic. Again, complete bullshit. It was absolutely a Sieg Heil gesture. But all of these people defending it are completely ignoring the second one he did straight after towards Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That is undeniably a Sieg fucking Heil.
Yes, exactly. Like, the fact that he did it and he was caught on camera is one thing, but then he did it twice. And even if it wasn't intended to be, the whole point is that everyone that thinks it is, that wanted it to be, are very much empowered by it.
But Rick, you don't understand. It was actually a Roman salute, which, by the way, isn't fucking thing.
I did remember learning that when I was 9, though.
Yeah, but it was made up for funsies.
Yeah, with my heart, I support your command. Yeah.
Well, maybe not made up, but exaggerated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you need to... Go on, sorry.
And apparently, according to the made-up Roman story, they stopped doing the handout bit and just made it with my heart when you passed your commanding officer in a corridor or whatever.
People probably got really tired.
Yeah.
But yeah, people who don't know their history, guys, and I'm sure there's a fair few out there who don't. One of the forms of protest against Hitler, including in his own fucking military, was to do a regular fucking salute instead of that one.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. You had members of the Navy, specifically the commander of the Bismarck, fucking told all of his sailors, you don't fucking do that. You do a regular salute.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. And you got all sorts of weird things as well. Like some people, and Twitter's just a cesspool. It has been for a while. You got people going, oh, it's not a Nazi salute, guys. It's a Star Trek salute, and they showed a screen cap of two people in red shirts doing the gesture in question, and it's like, yeah, you're right. It is a Star Trek salute. In the episode when they went to a parallel universe and they were all evil. These people, there's a quote that's been going around, which is just, I'll paraphrase it and slim it down, and it's just like, these people know what they're doing. They know their arguments are nonsensical and stupid because their side doesn't care what they say.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've touched on Herr Musk. He's a piece of shit. American government is a piece of shit. You're being currently led by Nazi light.
Yep. Did you see that apparently everybody in America is now a female?
Yes and no. It's one of these weird coping mechanisms where you've got to you have to make these ludicrous statements in order to combat Trump's evil, because Trump made it like whatever gender you are at the point of conception.
Yeah.
Is what gender you are when you're born, and or what gender you'll be referred to for the rest of your life, and it's the whole reason why men have nipples is because, technically speaking, every single embryo starts as a female.
Yeah, it's also why you got a stitch down your ball stack.
You know, I've always wondered about that, but I never felt the need to Google it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also said ball stack as well.
That's fine. I know what you meant. It's one of those weird things where it's there, it's not a problem, but there's always been a part of me that's like, that's a weird thing to have. Why is that a thing? But I never thought to Google it, because who really cares?
Does everyone have one of these, or am I just weird?
Oh, it's just like, I remember watching someone ages ago, I can't remember who they were, but they just said, if I ever have a kid, I'm going to tell them one night, everyone can read minds except for you. Night. How fucking cruel would that be? How fucked up would that kid be?
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah.
Are you ready for some very minor wrestling news to cap this all off?
Yeah, let's go.
WWE and TNA have officially announced a multi-year partnership with a rather wide scope of field for crossover potential.
Okay.
So the reason why I bring this up is because, boy, does it look like this is WWE seeing blood in the water and trying to actually kill AEW. So for a bit of context, Rick, TNA is like arguably the third or second biggest American wrestling brand. Depending on what numbers you look. I'd argue it's the third, but it was the second for the longest, so it's kind of stuck in my mind in that sort of position.
Sure.
So with WWE teaming up with TNA, it's going to be a struggle for AEW. There's a lot of theories going around where, very specifically, WWE's programming is now exclusively on Netflix in all international markets, which means it can't be on any networks, it can't be pay-per-view, it can't be on any channels. So what people are theorizing is that they're going to try and get TNA to effectively fill the spots where WWE was occupying in foreign markets in order to block AEW from taking them.
Right, okay.
Which is a scummy business practice, but if you know anything about the history of WWE, it's certainly not new. Vince might not be at the helm anymore, but the ruthlessness is still very much there.
Yeah, the whole the ethos is still alive.
Absolutely. All right, Wick, what are we doing today?
We're doing The Tick, Season 1, Episode 1, Pilot. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yes, this episode is available in its entirety on the YouTubes, so if I remember, I will put the link in the description.
Yeah, and it's been up forever. And I think it is actually the people that made it. The Piece of the Action guys.
Yeah, I assume it's official, because they're also flogging like a place to buy it. So...
Yeah, so we had a good old Patrick Warburton-esque... Patrick Warburton doing a Star Wars-esque opening.
Yeah.
Narration, and yeah. Hey, a bus.
I do love the idea of someone just doing their own narration. Like, it's just Kronk again.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, the reason why he has his whole face cut out of the costume is just because they're like, Patrick Warburton's incredibly expressive, and they wanted to keep that in as part of the character.
Yeah, good stuff. Rather than covering up his eyes.
Also, those antennae on his head are remote controlled.
Okay. Like, I noticed that they were prehensile.
Yeah. Hey, good job.
Thank you, coffee machine. Very cool.
I love how they don't fucking subtitle the word bitch because YouTube's a pussy.
Yeah. It's just an underdash. If only it was that easy to get rid of people.
Yeah. Like, he might be annoying, but he's got manners.
He does, yeah. Aw. Stupid one-liners. It's great.
That's a great fucking cutaway.
It is, yeah. Like the awkward cut as well.
Oh shit, Christopher Lloyd!
Yeah.
So does this guy already know about the Tick then?
Apparently, like I think he's a Tick fanboy.
Cool, I hate you. That's $1,000.20. $1,020 every minute.
Yeah. Cheese and biscuits.
He looks like the Noid.
He does a bit. Like he actually does.
You know what? This guy might be a complete and utter douchebag, but I do agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, leave the crime fighting to people who are equipped for it.
Jesus.
I love the self-awareness of, probably not going to ride it out to the end.
It does feel like this is just a platform for Patrick Warburton to monologue eternally.
Yeah, just get into a recording booth. Oh yeah, he's pretty much invincible, isn't he?
I believe that's the gimmick. Yeah, real super looking.
Oh yeah, the good old combo of beer and shots. So you got a long drink to make sure you don't get too dry while you're chatting, and a short drink to get you tanked quicker.
Yeah, makes sense. That guy is completely shit-faced and he's just thinking, this guy's gonna die on his first fucking job.
Yep. I thought you said I am the dick.
You're bringing that up. Apparently they used a new suit every single episode where they were just constantly improving it for the sake of Patrick Warburton's comfort.
Okay.
So in the second episode, do you know what groundbreaking piece they included in the suit?
A cod piece.
A cod piece, so he could go for a piss.
Alright.
The Lonely Panda's a great name for a Chinese restaurant, I'm just saying.
It is actually. Like, actually.
Fucking what? We're doing communists.
Yeah, apparently.
I love how it's just like a miniature sea mine.
It's like the indestructible gobstopper from Willy Wonka.
Oh, it is!
They're not even trying to blow up America, they're just trying to blow up the post office.
To be fair, that would be very annoying.
It would.
Mad calves? Oh, it's a great gag. I don't know why that's so funny.
Yeah. Now he's got consent.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I love fucking... Here's my kung fu prowess where I just walk.
Yeah. And the way that he shows how tough he is everybody dogpiles on him and then just like falls away as he blasts them away with his muscular might.
I believe Andre the Giant did that once in a Royal Rumble.
That definitely went onto the button.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you fucking idiot. Oh, it's not a bomb. It unleashes whatever the fuck this is. It's the KG Beast.
The Red Scare. This is the actual Red Scare.
He's wearing fucking hockey pads.
He is. he's wearing metal shit kickers from like any goth's wardrobe, just painted red.
Oh, red versus blue. Is there anything more classic?
Yeah.
It's one of those interesting things where, like, blue is, like, traditionally the hero colour.
Unless you're in Japan, where red is the hero colour.
Yeah. It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Batman well.
Batman well.
No. There's this big red douchebag. What the fuck is this shit?
Oh, yeah, the Statue of Liberty.
It's an ice cream cone. Oh, there you go.
No, Dougal is nearby.
See, Dougal, that cow is very, very small.
Yeah.
That's oddly fucking on brand for America at the moment, right? I'm working on having this immigrant who's doing nothing but good.
Yeah, deported, yeah.
Guys, 9/11 is happening right there and you're making out.
Slap, slap, kiss. I thought he was looking down because he got a boner or something.
I also thought that was going to be the joke. Oh, she is right wing. Okay, it totally aligns.
Yeah.
And of course, she secretly has the hot for a Latino dude.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah. People just like spitting gum everywhere they go.
It's a shame because the Tick does genuinely want to help. He's just a bit dim.
Yeah, he's directionless. Yeah, like a directionless Goku.
Yeah, it's the classic joke, right? Of hey, if that person doesn't like gay people, chances are they probably want to secretly have it up the arse. Someone doesn't like black people, they probably get turned on by the idea of a black dude fucking their wife.
Yep.
What was it? I think it's a Kevin Hart joke that says, I don't go around hating people because, hey, guess what? If you don't like gay people, your son's going to come home and he's going to be home with Brad.
Yep. Your door is broken, the knob came off.
I'm just saying, like, Patrick Warburton would do a great live action fucking Mr. Incredible, wouldn't he?
He would, yeah.
Jesus, if they did a live action remake of The Incredibles and cast Patrick Warburton as Mr. Incredibles, I would actually watch it, and that's saying something.
Aw.
My God, it's the boys before the boys, but funny.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No intent comprehended.
Yeah.
You met him 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, fear trickling down your undies.
What the fuck? Oh.
That is a good line, though. Easy there, bad cop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's weird, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah. Yeah, just looking at the YouTube comments. Apparently, this cycled the algorithm the moment that Jimmy Carter died.
Man, fuck the YouTube algorithm, but at the same time, at least this thing's getting more love.
Yeah.
There's no way there's a hotel actually just called the City Hotel. I have no money.
Mothman just go and grumble and... Yeah, this was the bit that I fast forwarded to make sure that the video was working.
Ah, yeah. Is that Bill Clinton?
They couldn't, yeah, because they couldn't get a proper lookalike.
Yeah. He just says this to everyone, eh?
Yeah, apparently.
That's convenient.
As if on cue.
I love the detail that he has to squint to look at him.
Because he's getting a light shot in him. It's like Rochambeau, but with headbutts instead of testicle bunting.
I shit you not, Rick. That is a wrestling spot.
just head bump.
For real, man. How? Oh, because there was already a hole in the ceiling. That makes sense.
Yeah, because he came down through it.
Oh, that would actually kill a man.
Yeah, a man, yes, but not the tick. Oh, it would actually really hurt the tick because apparently his antennae are his only weak point. Use your wings, Mr. Ex-President.
It's one of those annoying things where even if you're a former president, I believe you are still supposed to call him Mr. President.
Yeah.
Oh shit! They actually work.
Either that or they don't, and he's just like staying in place and will start to fall, but will fall later.
This isn't flying; it's falling with style.
Meanwhile, the Red Scare's got his one frickin' Dalek eye. I found out last night, actually, that Martian Manhunter and most depictions of Martians were a stand-in for the Russians in comics.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised to hear it.
Because, like he's got shape-shifting, and a spy can be anything. He's got mind-reading, and, apparently spies can read your mind.
Yeah, but Martian Manhunter's been a good guy for pretty much his entire run.
Yeah. Now, who's picking up the bill?
I mean, Arthur. Tick doesn't know what money is.
Yeah.
How'd he break his arm? Is she that rough in bed?
Apparently. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of kiss marks on there. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, no.
A secret message from my teeth.
That's a classic one.
That is also a pretty good name for a comic bookish villain.
Oh man, that's four whole fire flavors.
Yeah. He shoots fire from her tits.
Fight fire with Arthur. Dickhead.
Yeah, so Batman Well's gonna get stuck paying the check.
He deserves it. Like, come on. He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And apparently he's a well-established superhero, and he's meant to be like a parody of Batman, so he can probably afford it.
Yeah.
Fucking Batman Well. I'm just thinking of Manuel from fucking 40 Towers.
Yeah. As Batman.
Oh, as Batman. Oh.
Okay. I am the knight. Okay.
He just got fucking Basil chasing him wherever he goes and being like, get in the kitchen, and kicking him up the arse. Basil thinks he's meant to be Batman, but in reality he's just fucking Alfred. So by the looks of things, episode 2 is also on YouTube, but that looks like it's been uploaded by a much less official YouTube account, so we're not going to click on that.
Yeah, totally.
That being said, we've finished the pilot, Rick, and what did you think?
I liked it. It was dumb start to finish, which is exactly what we signed up for. And it was a pretty good interpretation of stupidity on the comic page translated to the big screen. How about you? What do you think?
Oh, it's very firmly in parody territory, but
oh, definitely.
Again, with having superheroes being sex obsessed and neglecting their job in favor of doing really dumb shit, it feels like a much more light-hearted The Boys. Because I enjoy The Boys, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed series 1 of The Boys, and I kind of watched the rest out of obligation. It's had some cool moments, but it devolved very quickly into how much gore and sex can we put on the screen, which is only so entertaining.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just it's an adult take on taking the piss out of the superhero genre, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's not grimdark. It's not malicious. It's not mean.
And it's not taking an existing world and turning an existing character into a clown.
This is true. I'm looking at
it's not making Clown Thor.
I'm looking at the tick and I'm seeing both Earthworm Jim and Freakazoid.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm seeing. It's good. It's great. Patrick Warburton was a great fucking casting choice. Everyone who showed up was great. I wasn't expecting there to be more superheroes, so that's cool. Christopher Lloyd had a walk-on cameo, more or less.
Yeah, and he's probably never going to show up again. But that was he very definitely stole that scene.
Oh yeah, certainly. And I think you need an actor who can be that over the top and zany without being, stealing the entire show. Yeah, he stole a scene as he should, but it's to emphasize how boring Arthur is. Like, it really did work. But fun from start to finish. I hope that if I do watch the rest of this, like, it's only 9 episodes long. It's not a very long series at all.
Yeah, totally.
I hope Batman and Miss Liberty, or whatever the fuck her name was, are like reoccurring characters.
Yeah, because they were both fun, even though we thought they were pricks.
Yeah.
Both of these could be true.
Yeah, and they're both pricks in very different ways.
Yes.
Like, Lady Liberty is like a conservative back when conservatives were, yes, they had opposite views, but they weren't fucking cultists.
Yeah, like, they were sleazeballs, but, they weren't, like, literally the exact thing that they were fighting 40 years ago.
Yeah, they're right-leaning, but they're not far-right. Although, that being said, being like, I'm working on getting this guy fucking deported is a horrible thing to say.
Yep.
Especially when the only thing we know about that person is, yeah, he fucks, but he is still a hero.
And otherwise does the right thing, yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like, I'm just saying. It was a fun episode. I might try and find the rest of this and give it a watch. I think, if I remember correctly, the DVDs are no longer in circulation, so it's one of those where I don't know what the official channel is to watch this on, so it might be okay to be a bit loosey-goosey with your obtaining methods, shall we say.
The same channel has at least episode 7 and episode 9 on the front page in the 4Us. So they didn't upload them all at once, in the good old trickle feed of a subscribed channel that uploads a lot of things. But yes, they're up there.
Oh, well, fair enough then. Yeah, I might binge this. It's fun. More Patrick Warburton is great.
Yeah.
Let's get to our usual wind down, shall we? Let's start with our favourite moments. Do you have one in mind, Rick?
You could pick any one of the Patrick Warburton one-liners, but I like a message from my teeth.
It was pretty good. I was also cringing during that because I don't like fortune cookies. I don't think you're supposed to eat them, full stop.
You can eat them. They're edible. They're like generically sweet.
The only fortune cookie I had was salty.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I guess whoever gave me that fortune cookie was a dick.
Yeah. Or it was made to not be eaten.
Yeah.
But yeah, any one of his one-liners, but that's the one that stuck out the most because it was just immediate encapsulation of how much he misunderstands every situation. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
It was when the tick jumped down off the top of the bus stop and beat the shit out the coffee machine in order to procure coffee.
Yeah, for someone else.
And the guy, he was just like, no need to thank me, and the guy doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't know why it tickled me.
I forgot that detail. No need to thank me, and then he doesn't.
Oh,
stupid.
It is. And also, that cup must have been scalding hot because it overflowed.
It did.
And because it was the tick holding it, he was squeezing it, so it must have been uncomfortable to accept that cup of coffee.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. It might be tough to find, but oh well, we'll do it anyway. Do you have a weakest link?
Well, I guess by extension, the only weak link I can really find is the fact that the suit was not at its peak yet and needed to be improved for the comfort of Patrick Warburton.
Absolutely. So, I believe, visually, the suit doesn't change that much, but I'm aware because of during my little research, it was just so the suit was a new suit every single time, and every adaptation was to just make life easier for Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a nothing weakest link because there was basically nothing to criticize. Anything that was jank to make it funnier.
Oh yes.
But how about you? Do you have a weakest link at all?
I do have a weakest link, and my weakest link is even more of a cop-out than yours. My weakest link is the fact that we had to talk over it because there was no downtime in this episode. The pacing worked for what they were trying to achieve, don't get me wrong, but everything was just snap, 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 next thing.
Yeah, just wall-to-wall jokes. I miss when comedy was like that.
Yeah, man, this is I'm going to say something really fucked up. This is immediately post 9/11.
Yeah.
That's how long ago this was.
People needed a laugh.
Yeah, the tick taught the world to laugh again.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if that was the case?
Well, apparently it was, for one guy, it was Osama bin Laden has farty pants, the South Park episode.
I mean, there's potentially people listening to us talk right now, Rick, who weren't actually alive during the time, and everything on TV and on the news was just fucking grim around this time, because people were scared, people didn't understand what was going on. I remember there was at least a week where no one was allowed to fly.
Yeah. I mean, there are 18-year-olds born in 2007.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's people who will be listening to us who weren't around. I talk to people at work who haven't seen Lord of the Rings because it was out before they were born.
Yeah. It's like me with Star Wars. Like, I was born in the 80s. Why would I watch something that came out in the 70s? Oh, because it's good.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not really a weak link. Like, the pacing served the purpose of the show, but it was just snap, snap, snap.
Yeah.
Let's end things on the highest of highlights. Rick, do you have a crowning MVP for today? As if I have to ask who it is.
Yeah, as if we have to ask. So, are you giving it to Patrick Warburton or to the Tick? Yeah, it's going to Patrick Warburton. Like, I'm not saying he carried it, but like,
oh, I am. He carried it.
Okay. But every moment he was on there, it was just like, what stupid thing is he going to do next, and how is it going to be funny?
Like, there was only 3 scenes in the entire episode where he wasn't in. 2 of them were involved Arthur, and one of them was when he fucked off to fight Cow. What the fuck was its name? Apocalypse Cow.
Terror? Apocalypse Cow, yeah. Yeah. How about you? Do you have an MVP, and how much are you agreeing with me?
Oh yeah, it's 100% Patrick Warburton. He owned this role. When you said the Tick was played by Patrick Warburton, I was like, yeah, of course he fucking was.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but it's perfect casting.
Yeah, and like the moment I booted up the episode and heard his dulcet tones giving us a good old opening crawl, I was like, okay, yeah, we're in for a good time.
Yeah, it bumped Lupin off of our to watch list.
Yeah, well, it could have been a good thing, because Lupin is now essentially our backup for Mystery Month.
Rick, it's our backup's backup.
In case one of the things ceases to be between now and the time that we review.
Absolutely. But yeah, Patrick Warburton absolutely deserves this. Like, learning the fact that the Tick's costume was altered to show off Patrick Warburton's face, just so they could make use of Patrick Warburton's face, you're like, yes, of course they did that, and it 100% worked. Like, Patrick Warburton is very expressive while also not being expressive. It's so weird to describe.
Yeah, like, he's always got his big brick face, but also...
You can't just say that. That's so insulting.
But he's always doing something with it.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the name of the show, but it was part of a comedy that I used to watch. It focused around 2 couples, and he was the man in one of the couples. And 95% of the humour, 80% of the humour was just him squinting and being like, what you just said is so dumb.
Yep.
I remember one of the jokes was he introduced his friend to the Godfather movies, and his friend's going off saying, Godfather 1 was great, there's no way you can top it. And then I watched Godfather 2, and oh my god, it was so much better. And Patrick Warburton's character is just going, yes, they're great movies. And then the guy goes, then I watched Godfather 3, and it might be the best one of the trilogy. And Patrick Warburton just goes without missing a beat, you're dead to me.
I can imagine that just in his low tone of voice version. You're dead to me.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, Patrick Warburton's great. Anytime he shows up in something, it's like, yeah, he's one of those names which I actually do respect as far as acting goes.
Yeah, good stuff.
But he doesn't have a massive range. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's like, you hire the one character to do the one thing that the one person does.
But also, he does actually have range. He can do comedy or action.
Yeah.
Like, if you have a character who is a big, muscly man, it doesn't matter what that character is, Patrick Warburton can play it.
Yeah, and if you want to do both, even better.
Like, Kronk is the perfect example.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He covers the entire gambit.
Yeah, totally.
Alrighty, and on that bombshell, we're going to wrap up the episode for today. Thanks for joining us for the debut pilot episode of The Tick, for all the way back from 2001. We hope you enjoyed listening to it, and potentially watching along with us, because we gave you a proper link today with no funny business, so you've got no excuse not to listen to to us talk bullshit while watching the episode. That being said, we've got the comment section down below on YouTube and Spotify, which no one ever fucking uses, for you guys to tell us what you thought of the tick, why we're wrong, what you agree with, and hell, maybe even some behind the scenes information that I missed on my research. Alternatively, we also have it there for you to suggest future episodes, although maybe be aware that we're doing a themed month next month, so if you suggest something, it will be at least a month before we even think of touching it. We also have the email address, don't we, Rick?
Yes, that will be nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Absolutely, so send us any of your comments. If they're witty, funny, or just informative, we may read it out on a future episode. I've already alluded to it, but Rick, do you want to tell the guys and gals that are listening what they have to look forward to a month of in February?
Yeah, we're having detectives and mystery shows that are not Scooby-Doo.
Absolutely. We haven't come up with a theme month. We're going to brainstorm off screen, and perhaps we'll have a whippy title. Otherwise, it'll just be like Month of Mystery or something dumb.
I don't know.
So yeah, join us again next week, guys. Bye.
Bye, everybody.